Good morning. So today is April 8th, 2025, and it is close to 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm having my coffee in a Dixie cup. If you have been following me for a while, that you know that I like cups with nice inspirational messages on it when it's written, or the Dixie cups. They feel so good on your hand. I just enjoy the little things. I figured I'll make one of these videos today that in a long time I think I haven't made the morning videos, but today I decided to do one. I was reading a little bit of this book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. It's a really, really good book. I talked about many books last year. If you have seen my videos, or if not, you can check the 2024 playlist. I still read a lot of them and a lot of new books in this field, personal growth field, because I figured that this is something that I cannot live without, because these are something I always like to learn, new things about human mind and how we all function, and things like that. So it's always encouraging to learn something new. So today I actually wanted to talk about something that even when you learn the things and you have your formula, which you guys know I do, where I talk about the triangle, the thinking, speaking, action, and sorry, I'm kind of fixing my tripod. I should have done that before I started, but okay, this is okay. um, yeah, so recently I'm watching a show, and I'll tell you guys how it connects to today's topic. Is the reality. Okay. So I'm watching this show called Younger. Younger, it's on Netflix. If you guys have Netflix, or you can check out the show on Google, what it is about. And I've been binge watching that. And a friend of mine, she has seen it a while ago. So sometimes we go for walks and stuff, and we started talking about it, and it's pretty fun. So if you are in your midlife, if you are a woman, you probably will connect with this show more. I don't know if guys will like it, maybe and maybe not. I don't know, but for ladies, it's a pretty fun show. So check it out. It's called Younger, 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 like normally how you would spell it. So anyway, they have 7 seasons, and I'm wrapping up season 5, and um, it is about a woman in 40s. So of course, probably that's why it connected with me more. Mm. If you're coming to this channel and if you're a woman, I don't know, late 30s, 40s, or something, it might resonate with you. And if you're one of those people, fun-loving people, like you have seen me, how after things fell apart about a year and a half ago, things are difficult, and then I got to my unstoppable zone, came up with all those my personal formula and helping other people to do that. And I feel so happy. I really, really, really do feel happy when, of course, it's not me. I believe in God. So my thought is that God is helping me to help people to save their marriages, to help people to date after a long-term breakup, long-term relationship breakup, or divorce anyway. So for me, that's my purpose, that's my calling, and I'm doing it. It's great. So in the show, it was a couple of nights ago, I saw this where the couple in their 40s, where they tried to after their separation, they tried to reconcile. And I healed. As you guys know, I definitely healed. I did a lot of things for healing. And but guess what? If I talk about this point A to point B to point C, all of that, for me, I think I have gone to, I don't know, even points or whatever you want to call it as, because, in so many ways I I kind of look for the purpose, how I can help people, and that's what drives me literally every single day. And seeing those changes, seeing the YouTube comments where people said that it is the content is really helping them and in their recovery journey. So anyway, long story short, um, when I was watching this, when the couple kind of tried to reconcile their marriage, it brought back some memory for me. And I was put back on point A somewhat, not fully, I would say, because I'm still, I think, in a place of I don't know what the right term is. I'm healed, but you still would have sometimes some grief, and I was here. Um, and I'll tell you guys the truth. I cried a little bit that night. It was not last night, the night before, I think, or the night before, 1 or 2 nights ago. And not because that, um, I think, yeah, the word is grief, the loss. You cry or feel sad for the loss. I don't miss the person, or we know that we grow apart, and that is good for us. But so time to time it'll happen, and that's the reality of life. So I felt sad a couple of nights ago, but then I kept watching this show as of yesterday. So last night I watched lots of episodes again. I had the time, so I watched. And then it was again in that zone that they overcome that phase, right? So that's done, and it's not working, and they decide for the divorce, and and then it kind of helped me to again kind of get in the zone. So and it was not that after that all day I was sad or anything, because it was only that the night after I watched. The reason I'm sharing it with you guys, that I know a lot of you who come here, you are going through that healing journey, especially if you're in the beginning. The healing is hard, but what happens out of all of this is that you find your purpose, the deepest purpose. I thought I found my purpose a few years ago. And you know why I get so excited about coffee? So that was 2018. I had some health issue for 3 years straight. I could not drink coffee. And I had bad acid reflux. But then it all got better. I have no restrictions. I had a lot of restrictions. To the point I almost could eat only boiled food. I was from work, and then I left that workplace. It was a wrong job I took. Anyway, I'm not gonna get diverted there. So when I started drinking coffee again, um, some of the understanding the little things in life and being grateful for little things, I think I started learning more about that then. And of course, our learning never stops. We keep learning. And a lot of the things that I learned was especially last year. And I bought this whiteboard, and you guys can see it here. So in the coming months, sometime I'll make more videos of what I learned using that board. So it'll be easy to explain. Because, I wanted to share with you guys how, when I say guys, again, guys and girls, of course, you guys know. The biggest thing is you have to just be who you are, and that is what makes it easy. You guys have seen that I'm doing the series that how to become irresistible and how to date after divorce, after your healing. And in the coming months, I have some more um, series planned. In summer, I'm doing one, a 10 episode series. It'll be twice a week. I figured that daily episodes are a little hard. It's hard for people to keep up, so I'm gonna do 2 episodes a week. If you have any input, please let me know in the comment section. Um, so, yeah, and that series is gonna be about how to save your marriage if separation and divorce is in your mind. Because I have come across many people. I'm not going to say who, what, because if any of you watch this video, there are multiple people where people are married, but then sometimes what happens is when you are in your midlife, there is this midlife crisis, and it is real, meaning it's a psychological thing that they have actually researched. There's a TED talk about it. So a lot of time what happens is that midlife crisis gets to a point where you want to reinvent yourself, but you kind of think that because of that midlife situation, it is you're stuck just because of your marriage. So the easiest thing to think is about giving up the marriage so that you can live the life you want. And some marriages are, of course, it's not, I don't know how to say it, not worth saving, meaning both people might be happier rather than not being in that marriage. However, there are a lot of marriages that can be saved because that is actually better for them, but on the surface it may not look like. So anyway, so that is an episode I'm gonna, not episode, like a series I am inspired to make. And the reason I share that is because when I saw a couple nights ago, when I saw that season on TV, and where I kind of felt bad, I was kind of put back here. I talked to you guys about spending less time here and more time here. Um, and sometimes, what pulls you from here to here more than the formula also sometimes is your purpose, right? Um, and for the purpose has to be so deep, something bigger than you, something that is so transformative. So for me, I really do feel like this is God's calling for me. And if you're one of those people that you believe in universe, you believe in other kind of higher power, different religion, and I don't know, if you believe in yourself, that is okay too. Please do know that that is okay too. Because there is no one way to connect with God. There is no one way to connect with higher power. I've learned so much, and what I figured is you have to go with what resonates with you the most. There will be people in the world to tell you what to do, and when you try to fit in the mold, you lose part of yourself. And when you lose part of yourself, that is when suffering begins. And I mean, of course, you don't want to hurt other people, you don't want to hurt yourself. But if you are trying to please other people at the cost of hurting you, then you are not going to fulfill the calling that you have, because you got to be yourself, you know. I think Steve Jobs said it very nicely, and I don't completely, I don't know, I don't completely follow all his leadership style, because I don't think all of them are best. um, anyway, but this thing really connects with me that when he gave the Stanford speech, which became one of the most popular speech ever, is that he talked about when you were, because he was dying, right? He had cancer and he was dying, And he said that when you're already naked, I mean, there is nothing more to hide or something like that. The point was that for me, when I lost my job, when I lost my marriage at the same time, the ground beneath me um, was not there. It was gone. But from there, slowly I learned to live a new life, to serve people, to help the people. I mean, even if it helped one person, it would be so worth it. And today I'm helping so many more people, and it's just makes me so happy. I know that for years I had the urge to um, help people in many different ways, and I think that God was preparing me for this moment because this resonates with me so much more than, like, I have done my share of mentoring and coaching and all of that in my corporate life, so many people. And I still remember back in 2017, 18, somewhere around then, I was coaching one person, and after 14 years of working, he found a new job, and he was like, that was the happiest he has ever been at his work. And he said that I helped him. He probably doesn't even remember as much, but I do remember, because those are the things that that makes a difference, right? When you can help somebody to fulfill their dream, there's nothing like it. It gives you so much fulfillment. It's hard to explain in words. Okay. So the point is that even though you keep going in life, there will be times that you will get into this zone, because I wanted to share the reality with you guys, because it's not that I never get into this zone. Like I say, here and there sometime, seconds or minutes, I don't spend more than that. But it's not that I force myself. It is the purpose. I have this triangle, I call it mindfulness triangle: thinking, speaking, action, um, that can help you to get to from here to here. And then also there's a quadrant, which I'll cover in that board next month, more about that, because that is where the real fulfillment lies. Because in this quadrant, I call it rich quadrant, not necessarily rich as the money, but it kind of helps you to remember. R is relationship. I actually had it written here, but okay, I'm going to write it and I post it. So if you're new to the concept, and if you're new here, so then you'll know what I'm talking about. Oop, RICH, and it's kind of clockwise. So see here, R is the relationship, I call it ideal life, and I'll explain that in a minute. And C is the career, and H is your health, physical and emotional health. I is the most important, ideal life, which is where you have fun, meaning, my form of having fun is simple having, going to the coffee shop. I love going to the coffee shops. If you have been here for a while, you guys know I'm a huge Starbucks lover. Not only Starbucks, I love all kinds of coffee shops. So, if I could, every week I'll go to a new coffee shop, something like that. And then when I chit chat with my friends there is nothing like it. That fills my bucket. Also, the things that I like is, traveling. So in a week, it's a spring break here in Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia is, by the way, the part of Virginia that's close to DC. So Northern Virginia, there's spring break. So my daughter and we will be going for a short trip to a log cabin, and I'm going to film some videos there, so you guys will see it. And Career is straightforward, career in finance, and the H is health. The things that gets overlooked is from the health, the emotional health, physical health, more or less, depending on if you exercise or not, it's there. If not, you end up in doctor's place. So it's kind of gets taken care somewhere or the other, especially if you're in your midlife, you cross 40, there are things you got to be careful about. You start getting some wrinkles and stuff. So anyway, but the travel and you have to think about ideal life is what feeds your soul, and because it is intangible, that is what gets missed, trust me, really, really. So even if you're in a happy relationship, your marriage is working well, you have to make time for that, whatever feeds your soul. If it is something that you and your husband, you and your partner, you have to spend quality time, it goes with also this love language test. Do that test. I think it costs $15 or something. It used to be free. Look it up online. What is love language test? And Gary Chapman, I think it's by him. And one of the best, absolute best thing for relationship to for both of you to take that test. Um, and find out. And even if you are dating after divorce, you're healed and you're trying to find the right partner, take the test early on in advance. This will save time. This will save time because the divorce rate is higher, a lot higher, almost double in the second marriage than the first marriage. It is because, sometimes it is a rebound relationship, or sometimes it is not really. Well, the thing is, people bond based on their wound, based on their pain, versus because that's where most people try, not try to, they live, because if you work on yourselves, you will get here, and then you'll attract a person here, so that both are healed people. And because have you seen how you are living in a, I don't know, sad zone, and somebody else is also living in a sad zone, and you connect so deeply well. But guess what? That's it. I mean, it's good as a friend, but when you get into a relationship based on that, it's a recipe for disaster in some way. But it's a generalization, depends. But this is something you got to keep in mind. But when you are here, you have all your formula. When you drop down here, what is your purpose? Your purpose is so clear in life that you get back up here. And then you'll attract the right person. And purpose can change depending on, life experiences you have been to. My purpose is my daughter. Um, you know, she can look for positive in a challenging situations, and she's only 9 years old, and I'm like, she reminds me, like, how can I not? If she is a 9 years old, she can, like, I gotta be I gotta do more. So she is an inspiration, but beyond that, what I realized over time is, in some way, it's the calling from the higher calling, because you know um, you have to find out what is your God-given potential, right? You have heard about that. The best life you'd live when when you are in that zone, you have all your God-given potential, and I truly believe that for me, that is when I help people in this difficult marriage situation. So anyway, so last night when I saw the future episodes, I actually that helped me to even move further. Further meaning, like I was thinking about this episodes, because there'll be 10 episodes, and how you give it a try, things didn't work out, and then you move forward, then you have some sort of, I don't know what the word is, like a contentment that you did it all what you could, and then you move on. And because there could be so many what if questions in life, right? But the what if for big things, you want to do all those what ifs, and then if it didn't work, then you're like, okay, you feel like you did what you could, because you can do what you could in your life, and everything that is under your control. Anything that is beyond your control, you got to believe the higher power, the God, they have a better life designed for you. um, I mean, I can tell you guys so many stories, which I will cover in my upcoming books. In the next few months, I'm gonna write a few books, and that's where I'll share more deeper stories. Because for me, I grew up Hindu, and I also, after things fell apart, I followed Buddhism. Pretty deep. And if you guys know me here from here, that and people who know me, my friends know I am pretty intense. So when I was following Buddhism, it was like 16 hours a day. um, it was not planned 16 hours, but because I didn't have a job, so I was trying to cope with that emotion. So all day every day for months I listened to Buddhism talks and meditation and all of that. And I learned a lot of different things. And then there were things that, it's connecting. Like Steve Jobs has a quote that you cannot connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking back. You just got to trust that they will all connect. And that literally um, happened. And I started going to the church after some experiences, and then I became Christian. Uh, Now I don't, I don't know how to say it. If you have a different religion, if you believe a different religion, I am one of those people that's okay. A lot of Christians would say it's not, but we in Christianity, one of the things that I liked is that it's super simple. The concept is super simple, because I mean I can only compare with Hinduism and Buddhism, I guess. So because I know this religion, in Hinduism, because there are many gods, like there's a god for your knowledge, there's God for, I don't know, there's money, there's God for, and so many different kind of gods. Like it's a fire is God, snake is a god, tree is a god, sun is a god. Anyway, so I mean there's nothing bad. There's my dad used to be Hindu and very religious, and he was a super nice man. Unfortunately, I got to see him only for 6 years, because he died when I was 6 years old. He had a stroke. um, okay, so yeah, so I think that kind of, at least for me, it kind of made it hard to connect. Um, so I was never a super religious person. I believed, but and then Buddhism is also great. The mindfulness is great, you know. Mm. And one thing I tell people is, and you can read more about it, mindfulness, meditation, they are not owned by Buddhism. It's not necessarily, it's because people sometimes tend to think that way. You can research more about it. You can meditate. Mindfulness is nothing other than being present in this moment. Like I'm talking to you guys, I'm drinking the coffee, I'm filling the cup in my hand, and I'm hearing my own voice as I'm speaking. Like, my senses are in there. My eyes are here, right on the camera, the light. I'm pretending I'm seeing all of you. Um, so that's what mindfulness is, just being aware of your not surroundings, the situation. Like I'm sitting on this chair and I'm feeling it. That's what mindfulness is. It doesn't have to be owned by any religion. So what that does is it holds you to the present moment. And the way I found that helps, at least helped me, you have the past and you want to go to the future. Our mind is always trying to go to the past or the future, but to get to a better future, you have to navigate the present in some way, because you have to learn how to be present. More you meditate and all that, you'll learn. However, it takes practice. Everything takes practice, and you have heard practice makes perfect. So you have to practice, practice, practice. And then I did all that, and the reality is, if you are in a place, in a country where there's majority Buddhist, I don't know if my religious beliefs would have been any different. I'd have stayed Buddhism, I don't know, maybe. But here, there were not many people who were following that. I mean, there are groups and stuff I found online, and I even joined, but the feeling was not the same. I went to a Buddhist temple too, and people were very nice, but I didn't feel that strong connection. Anyway, I'm not gonna get too deep on that today. So for when I went to church, and one of my friend, oh my God, she's like my sister. Like it's hard to believe that we are not related, but she's a friend. If you're seeing it, and her mom. So they watch some of my videos. If you guys are seeing it, and I can't say her name here because it's private. But her mom sees me like her own daughter, and I'm so grateful. They know who they are. If they're seeing this video, they'll know. Okay, so so I got introduced to Christianity, I would say in some way many years ago, but last year was when many deeper experiences connected me to go to the church. I went, and it's like life is like that. When you're looking for it, one door will open to another, to another, to another, and it's like a guidepost, and you almost have to think like I don't know, treasure hunt or whatever, right? Like, or like a GPS, you go left, and then they go to that destination, they'll say go right, and then from there to left and straight, and that's what kept happening. And then I learned so much, and I still learn every single day. And the deeper calling that I feel to do this, and not look for external validations, look for validations only from God. And so I was talking to you about the difference, right? So in Christianity, and it's about the non-denominational churches where I go to. I hear that in Catholicism it's very different, but you have this personal connection with God, and that is something that nobody can take it away from you. And you build that connection, and there will be people who will tell you to go left, go right, go this way, go that way. And what I believe is their intentions are good, everybody's trying to help you, but there is no one way. It's almost like you love your child, and there is no one specific way to love your child. You just love your way based on all the things that you learned. Like when I grew up in India, I had some specific ways that I grew up, and some things I learned from my mom. My mom gives me unconditional love, and I learned that from my mom for my daughter. And there are other things that I learned. There are some things that are not very good, because I was youngest of six of us. There's 6 kids. My mom had 6 kids. And for me, my dad died when I was 6 years old. So I had a lot of advice growing up, like a constant advice, to the point that I did not like to hear advice. But guess what? I make the same mistake. I keep advising my daughter. And sometimes I catch myself remembering how I used to not like it. So things like that, but I love her. I love her. And I know that some of the advice, when I keep repeating, it kind of probably annoys her, especially now that she's 9 years old. But that is something. I love her, but there is no one way to love. Some of it is based on who I am, how I was raised, and stuff like that. So same thing, like all the people who love God. And in Christianity, there is this thing that you love God and you have that relationship with God. Um, and for me, I think, I don't know, it's from the vacuum that my father died when I was 6 years old, and that I feel that, and then they say like Father God, right? So I don't know, I have that feeling that God is my father. And that works for me. And if somebody has to say different things about that, that's fine. It's I this is me. um, and if you're watching this, if you're Christian, you have a different opinion, I respect your belief. I ask you to respect mine if this doesn't resonate with you. And that's okay. That's okay. We are all different human being, 8 billion people in the world, and we all have 8 billion unique journeys. A lot of pain and suffering comes from not understanding other person's point of view. And that's what, the bottom of a lot of conflicts comes from the expectation. And the expectation comes from um, our values and beliefs. And our values and beliefs are, many of them are, come from either from how we grew up, also from different life experiences that shape us. For me, the life experience, and I'm grateful for every single thing that happened to me, every single thing, even the sad things, even the craziest things, because that's what made me who I am today. Because I feel fulfilled, you know, even with whatever. I am so grateful for my daughter. I'm so grateful that I'll be going to the spring trip. It just brings a smile on my face because I love to travel, even if it is like a small things. Like I'll be going only 2 hours from here. It's a nice little log cabin. And somewhere, at least so far, I hope when she grows up, it's still that my daughter is super excited because the place has a bunk bed. So she's excited about her bunk bed, and in a hot tub. So yeah, she's super excited about that. And inside it's like all log cabin, real log cabin. So we like that. Nothing major, but she also learned how to enjoy the little things in life, and that's what we're gonna do. So again, I'll wrap it up, and I just wanted to remind you guys that there will be things sometime even after you heal that will put you back. But then you got to remember your purpose, a purpose that is bigger than yourself, that is going to shape generations, legacy. 100 years from now, 100 years, 50 years from now, I'm not going to be here. Many of you guys who are watching these videos, depending on how old you are, 50 to 70 years or 80 years from now, you won't be here. But what we do every day, every week, every month, every year, has a ripple effect. So when we do something good that makes the world a little bit better place, you know, that is nice. That is nice. Because what we leave behind lives through us, good or bad. Um, it lives through us. My dad died so long ago now, but I still talk about him and how nice he was, and his niceness helps me to be nice and stuff like that. I think, I don't know, like there are some DNAs from from that, and that's what probably helps me too, because my dad was like that. He would help people in need, to the point sometimes that he won't even take care of things in the house, and my mom would get pissed. Because my mom had to deal with all 6 kids. She was a housewife, and my dad would go work and help lots of other people. So there has to be a balance. um, anyway, so I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday and rest of the week. And watch the series and let me know. And if you have comments about, you want me to cover other things, let me know. But be real. Don't look for external validations, and be real. If not on the camera, I mean, camera is to inspire others, the people who are not directly involved in your life, but you can inspire others in your life who you are spending your day to day with. With that, bye. Take care.